instance, wrong. There is only one Kelly, but if you're going to do these fractions and you're going from chart to chart to chart, you better keep yourself clear or you're going to get sideways. So this as traded, this is what matters to me. When I look at this graph, I want to see that I'm bopping in and around this red dotted line because that red dotted line is what I'm doing. For me to remember what I'm doing, it's 0.12 here on this particular graph, and this gives you your equity and your drawdown. Right? So you can see most of the time your drawdown isn't much more than 5%. You get some spikes, but then obviously something happened right around here. This is days in the trade. So what you don't see here are days where this thing is just not trading at all, because it'd be a lot of flat lines. Just how I had the data, I just put them all together. So this ignores, we've got more than 800 total days worth of data, but we have roughly 800 days of being in this trade, and the rest of the days that you don't see here would be nothing but flat lines. You're out of the trade. So we just put them all together. So this is your equity curve that looks like that. So you get some spikes. Even trading that conservative, you can still get, what's this, 23% drawdown. Now, you know, that 23% drawdown on an equity basis is no worse than you were right here. So you'd made a lot of money, you gave some of it back, but you just kept going. Your equity curve looks pretty darn good. You can tell here this is starting to look a little more volatile, which is what we've traded through recently. And yes, it has been, but it's been profitable. But the point here is, this is what we use to determine our actual position size. And every trade that goes off, this thing automatically updates. I just run it again and I look at it. Am I going to make a drastic sudden change based off of a single trade? No, I won't. And the reason why is our secure F value is already damn small. Already damn small. Now, that being said, what these guys said in the video from a long past on this secure F series, it's probably still larger than what a lot of people would be comfortable with. But at some point, you've got to say, hey, listen, I've done all the math I can. We're running secure F. We know the size is extremely small. And if I wanted to look at what one full Kelly would look like, guys, in my trading program, I just changed this 0.12 to 1. So it's fully versatile. Again, this is not off-the-shelf stuff. I've written this entirely from front to back. That's how serious you have to be if you want to do it right, or at least extremely well. So I'm going to show you one more example here. So you can see, and I want you to take note, the short is looking a little shoddy, but there again, it's just a small amount of trades and it's working its way up, but we're still well below the red. The long, it is so volatile, the secure F, I had to knock it from 95% down to 75% on the long just to get a reading above 0. So this is very volatile. So it's saying that the long trades I've done is pretty volatile. All right, so bet small. I'm just going to show you something here. So these are the long trades. There again, I bet the same size, 0.12 in both cases. But you can see you got 20% drawdown, a lot of times 10, 12. This is the long. This is the equity curve of the long. Okay, but when you put it with the short, it smooths out a lot. Right? So you can tell this equity curve, although profitable, looks scary as shit, and it should, because there's a lot of volatility, and that confidence level is way down. I can move this confidence level around separately, short, long, and total, because I need to be able to vary them, because inevitably the short's going to be a better trade than the long, or vice versa. They're both not typically even. But you'll notice when I put them together, this is at 95% confidence. If you can get something like this at a 95% confidence, it's as good as you're going to get. It's just as good as you're going to get. Right? So let me bring up I'll bring up one more trade here for you, and we'll contrast that with this Bitcoin trade. All right, so now you're looking at the ES. So we're trading the S&P here. And you'll notice these are different looking yet again. So 90% confidence interval, still fairly high, not the 95, but fairly high. You can see something's going on here where we're bebopping across zero quite a bit. Now, this just could be because there's a limited amount of data, limited amount of trades coming in, and you do need a certain amount of trades. But I will say a lot of this stuff is because of the volatility of the trades on the short side. So this is the short. The short trades are pretty volatile. Now look at this. We get into a situation where I'm trading down here. By the way, that's 20% of Kelly. You'll see that in a second. So it's telling me to trade multiples. Well, what's happened here? Obviously, it's caught a series of very, very nice shorts. So it's saying bet more, bet more. You've seen that. All these different Kelly criterion calculations, Kelly, optimal, and secure, will do this. Now, this is going to tell you to bet more, but less more. How do you like that for proper English? Than the other two versions. But reality finally comes around, and it starts telling you to bet less because obviously things are getting a little crazy. And then it starts to bebop around finally this red curve, but you're still going down to zero. So what this tells me is I'm probably in the ballpark. I'm not over betting, but it's volatile in the returns. Now, not to the point where I need to see things down at the 75% confidence level or 60. All right, that's very volatile. At 90%, it's being a picky ass thing. And so it will give you these zeros pretty quickly when you have this high confidence and you expect to see a pretty good set of actual trades, but you're getting them and they're a little too volatile. It'll just pull your F number right down, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to keep you safe. You can see again, I'm a broken record on those the previous videos on that example that I gave you. It will pull you back faster and sooner and keep you more safe, keep you from losing as much money as the other ones will. Now on the long trade, again, it's just a series of trades. You have to wait till it loads. The longs were either volatile. This is at 95% confidence. So the reason why I chose 95 and all this stuff is zero is because I could see it was really, really a good trade. Whereas back here, I would have had these come off of zero if I did like a 75% confidence interval or something like that. But I want to keep it as high confidence as possible. Once I start getting enough trades in, and by the way, 35, 40 trades is hardly enough, but if it's all you've got, it's all you've got. And you can see this doesn't look like an overbet either. But let's put them together because you're going to trade the ES short as well as long. Put them together, see what you've got. So you've got that long series of trades that don't work on the high confidence level. It doesn't mean they're not good. If you start moving this down, again, put it down to 75, put it down to 70, see what you've got going on. See if it even remotely makes sense. Once I see after 70 trades, it starts to make sense in everything, trade after trade after trade, after you load it all in, longs and shorts complementing each other. Okay, you could argue I'm under betting because I'm down here. This is the 20% of full Kelly, which is my as traded one Kelly right here. Okay, you can see I could probably bet double, something like that. And, we could probably be okay. And by the way, I could very easily simulate that. Let's just take a look at the equity curve, long and short. All right, so this is at the 20% Kelly. You can see it here. I like that nice smooth equity curve. Throughout the entire time, you can see we've been in these trades 4,500 days worth, and a lot of times we're out, so that is a lot of data. So through thick and thin over the last number of decades, you can see this thing has had a 20% drawdown a couple times before it got right, and this is the equity curve. So if you were to double this from 20% Kelly to 40% Kelly, this red line would be right up in here, or actually this blue line would be down here to match your red line, right? That would be arguably a better thing to do, but do I really need to risk any more than 20% drawdowns when I put them all together, long and short? No, I don't. The reason why is these all complement each other, and I don't mean the longs and the shorts on the ES. I mean your gold trade, your Bitcoin trade, your ES trade, all the other trades we do, they all complement each other. You're trading these things all together. Now, you're not likely going to get into a situation where every single one of them had drawn you down 20% all at the same time. That would be a pretty nasty, nasty drawdown. Now, again, you're trading fractions of whatever your account balance is, so you're not going to zero. You just are into some pretty damn deep drawdown. Again, go back to that first chart I showed you. That's a secure F. Actually, had you hardly trading anything at that point when your drawdown is like that. So if you amalgamated all the trades together, okay, you would be trading significantly smaller than you were previously. And that's not likely to be the case anyways, because you're going long and short across multiple trades, multiple securities. And you're just flat out not going to be drawing down all of them maximum at the same time. But that is a good reason. Once you look at, I'll just bring this back. Once you look at the drawdown, I go, hey, that's enough 20%. I don't need to get anything more than that. So I like the idea that where I know I'm happy with my 20% Kelly being right here, this red line, and my secure F, which is darn conservative at the 95% value, is saying, yeah, buddy, it's all green lights. You are not over betting. You are good to go. That allows you to sleep at night. So why haven't I given you the secure F formula? That's not what this is for. Okay, you want to run a secure F, you want to run an intelligently derived algorithm. I'm giving you the examples. I'm showing you what I do, examples from our actually trades. So I'm showing you as best you're ever going to know that this is what I do on my Patreon service. Okay. Now, most of you aren't simply going to be putting the amount of time and effort it's going to take to learn it and then produce this type of stuff. Me telling you what the calculations are is not the point, and it would truly be worthless. It's going to be lost on every single one of you, because I put a lot of money on this that not a single person that's ever going to watch this video is ever going to go to the extent of effort and work and learning that I've done to do this. What you can do, however, is go to my Patreon service and sign your ass up so I can do the work for you. You pay me a small fee for what you're going to make out of this thing over the long run. Despite any wiggles and niggles here, we've minimized that to the absolute best of my ability. So you can get your ass dialed in for a minimal fee, however you want. If you want to hedge it, take this one. If the world friggin' blows up and nothing ever works again, which is basically an impossibility, because you're going to find yourself on the right side of some trade, even the blow up trade. All right, you can hedge yourself, and at the worst case scenario, you get 6 months for free to dig yourself out of the hole that you're not going to find yourself in anyways. And knowing I've done all the work for you, all you have left to do is follow it, and that's going to be your cross to carry. That's going to be your rock of Sisyphus. And let me tell you, that's going to be enough on your plate, because why 95% of traders do not succeed is because even if they had the greatest algo ever on the planet, and I'm not claiming this by any means, they still wouldn't follow it. They'd still find a way to fuck it up. So your rock of Sisyphus is to be signing up here and then following the damn instructions. That's all you've got to do. What on earth are you waiting for? I'll see you here.